Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 Road to Glory series for 2019 for episode number 19 today at the Mexican Grand Prix. Last time out, we had some actual signs of some team spirit and teamwork out on show in USA. Spinning across the line.
You must be really happy.
What? Sorry, come again. Out of the pit lane, yellow flags, and oh, there's been a huge crash ahead of us. Kubica ahead of me, Zolta limping a little bit. Is this what I think it is? Has this been the biggest team play ever? Has Kubica just taken out two people for me? And it looks like that team spirit may have just rubbed off from Robert Kubica at some of the lads back at the factory, because we've had two upgrades that have actually not failed coming to Mexico. I know, utter shock. Engine power and some front downforce, much needed front downforce I think, and the engine power should come in handy at Mexico. Obviously that long main straight, so I'm hoping we can improve, because the last few episodes our car certainly has felt like it's been going backwards in terms of performance. So we're going to get straight into it then, one shot quali on Saturday and see how this goes. Into turn one, felt pretty okay there, and we're actually quite high up, P3 you can see, but then in the span of 2 seconds on the exit, we go from P3 down to P20. I have no answers for that, but there you go. I think the grid was so close. We try and scramble back some time in the S section. We wrestle the car through up into P15, you can see on the top left. It's looking okay. Through the last corner though, a little bit slow on the entry and the exit, trying to get the power down, and we don't gain anything, but we don't lose anything. And so across the line for P15, pretty damn solid, I'd say.
Good work.
And in a rare sight, our engineer agrees with us. He's on the same page. So, yeah, I think we're looking a lot better than we were at USA, at least in terms of raw pace. You can see the time difference, not too much there from myself to Kubica. Just the field's so packed together. You can see up ahead, if I only gained like 1/10, I could have maybe jumped up 2 positions there. So, we've beaten one Toro Rosso. The other one has beaten us, though. So, that's a question mark. We're only, a mere 1 or 2 points ahead of Toro Rosso. I can't remember what it was, to be honest, but we're only a few points ahead of Toro Rosso in the championship, or he might even be level on points with him. I'm not too sure, but it's mega close. That's what I do know, and so that's a little bit worrying. We need to make sure we can try and beat both Toro Rosso today, try and score some points, and try and keep that ahead, because of course this is the third last episode in this season, so there's not long to go. It is very much crunch time in this Constructors fight, and we don't want to bottle this right at the end. Strategy-wise, it's going to be a one-stop, of course. Hypersoft tires to the Ultras. We're going to start on the Hypersoft tires, because even though we're at P15, we've not got to make up a huge amount of spaces to maybe get up the order. I still want to be as fast as we can in the opening kind of laps. The end of the stint might be a little bit tricky though, because the hypers do like to go off quite quickly. We're going to leave a decent amount of fuel in the tank, because our car is obviously quite thirsty, and I don't want to repeat of what happened at the Russian GP. But then here we go then. I want to get into this then and go to the Mexican GP, to the 5 red lights. We're actually in P14, I didn't realise. We gained 1 free position already in this GP, so the charity has begun. 5 red lights are out, and we're underway for the Mexican GP. It's an okay start. Bit of wheel spin though in 3rd gear. We're going to try and keep in the toe. Obviously it's a very long run down to turn 1, so plenty of thinking time and plenty of time for the brakes to cool to the point where I can't slow the car down, knowing this car. But nice and easy into turn 1. I probably broke a little bit too early there, but it's 4 wide up ahead. Fiat, the Racing Point car, McLaren, and also Alfa Romeo on the left, and we've been boxed in by the 2 Racing Point cars. Lost the position, gained it back though, and we're back up into P14. But that could have been quite nasty, of course, with the how brittle the car is. Like I've said many times, a gust of wind could definitely break this car. So I was very scared and aware of the 2 Racing Point cars around me, boxing me in. But we're now going to try and attack the 2nd Racing Point car, Sergio Perez, his home GP, and we're going to pull his pants down at his home GP. Thoroughly embarrassing to have a Williams car overtake you around the outside. To be honest, Perez should just retire right now. Now's the time to call your career quits. You've literally been done around the outside by a toy masquerading as a Formula 1 car. It's over for you. So up into P13, concentrating on Danka Fiat though, and we move all the way to lap 4 though, until we can actually even make an attempt and a pass on Fiat potentially. We got a great exit off the S section. Going to brake early though, let him go deep on purpose, cut in for the tighter switch move to the inside on the right hand side of the circuit. He'll turn to the outside for the next hairpin as we go through this stadium section. The crowd absolutely mild in silence, because they're just like, what? A Williams car overtaking someone? What is this? And so we're up into P12, but at what cost here? Because we actually lost a lot of momentum through those last 2 corners, and so the Toro Rosso will come back at me, as well as the Racing Point car, and also maybe the Alfa Romeo car. It's like inviting them in to just pass me. Why don't you? And so we're nearly 4 abreast. We're going to back out. That's 3 wide ahead of me. Lockups galore from Perez and Cafe. I think that was Perez tried to swipe across me. The two ahead of me, Alfa Romeo and Toro Rosso, still side by side. Fiat and Giovinazzi, I think it was. We're going to remain ahead of Perez just about. Going to have to do some little weaving there as Perez Perez weaves himself on the right-hand side, having a little look, and Kvyat still having to battle Giovinazzi. The Alfa Romeo car is putting up a mega fight, but unfortunately, instead of gaining one position, I've effectively lost two, or lost one, really, depending on how you want to look at it. And so not great stuff. We're back down to P14. So all of this fighting, lap 5, and we're still where we started. It's the Williams motto, to be honest. And in true Williams fashion now, things start to go downhill pretty damn quickly. The Racing Point car on the left-hand side is going to overtake me. Perez with a move around the outside to basically get me back. It's payback, essentially, there on the outside of that right-hander. We tried to fight him, a little lock up on the front left, and then he pinches me to the apex, and he's done us back. And so he has got that revenge. We're down to P15, and to be honest, the pace is not feeling too great. You can see on the rear there, stepping out a little bit again. Like I said, the tyres were going to be an issue at the end of this stint, and they are very much an issue right now for me. We've now got the second Toro Rosso, Albon, trying to overtake me as well. So I talked a lot about trying to beat the Toro Rosso cars. One's fully gotten away from us, and the other is attacking us, but we actually re-attack Sergio Perez, get that place back down the inside of turn 1, and so we're trying to put up a fight. We're not going to go, we're not going to go down easily, but right now things aren't looking good. I'm defending a lot. That's losing me more time than I'm gaining, really. And despite the engine upgrade we've had this weekend, Sergio Perez is putting up a real good fight in that Racing Point car. He's on the outside. You can't see him, but he's there, and he's getting his nose, and he's actually going to make contact with us into the next right-hander, and he's literally bullied his way past there. Like, come on, I asked for charity, and you give me bullying. That is not what we advertise for. So yeah, it would seem like our engine upgrade has actually done the opposite. It's made our car slower in a straight line, because it kind of feels like that. I don't have the wings that high, and yet we are a sitting duck here. You can see the Toro Rosso and the Haas are coming for us there. We've got DRS open thanks to Perez being a second ahead of us, and Kubica is now coming into the fight. So I'm literally going backwards and backwards to the point where I'm going to eventually meet my teammate at this rate. So things are not looking good for me. The Toro Rosso sent one to the inside of turns 2 and 3, and Albon is still very much nipping at my heels in the gearbox. He comes again on the left-hand side in the mirrors there. We've got DRS, but that's not helping us there, and the grip just isn't there on the left-hand side. Another lock-up on our car, side by side. Kubica goes with a Haas car, I can see, and I think Kubica's just taken out the Haas. That infamous Kubica assassination has come out, and he's up the order, and he might even be fighting Albon, but we're going to come in on lap number 8 for our pit stop. It's time to get away with these old set of boots, and hopefully we can find some sort of grip with the new tyres. But knowing the Williams pit crew, they actually probably forgot to put the tyres in the tyre blanket, so they're just going to be stone dead cold as we come out the pit lane then. But either way, we're onto that set of ultra soft tyres that will get us to the end of the Grand Prix then. It's about making a very good outlap, because we need to try and make sure we can try and maybe undercut the cars ahead of us, potentially the Racing Point car. I mean, it could be that powerful. It has been that powerful before around Mexico. We'll have to see about that. But for now, we're at P16 in an Alfa Romeo sandwich there. We're actually last place now because someone else has gone out of the GP, and virtual safety car's out, probably for that reason. And that's actually really bad timing, because no one else has made a pit stop yet ahead of me. And so as we go down the main straight, obviously I've had to keep to the delta time of the virtual safety car, and so it's meant that not only has Kubica overtaken me, I also got overtaken by any of the other cars that I had behind me, which is the Toro Rosso, I believe, or the Haas. Gasly's out of the GP, 15 runners, and I'm now stone dead last, and I'm legit last. Like, everyone's made their pit stop now, and Kubica is ahead of me. We've now gone racing again. We're green, and look at the minimap. The gap I've got to Kubica, and then the gap Kubica's got to the next car along. So I've absolutely just been finessed by the FIA and that virtual safety car. I'm now going to go chasing after my teammate for P14. Like, you thought we were fighting for the wooden spoon back at, like, the British GP episode. This is the literal fighting for the wooden spoon. Even if I catch Kubica by the end of this GP, there's nothing on offer. There's no points right now. It's not looking good. We've got one car out, though, so that's going to be one more free position, maybe. Up into P13. No, 2 cars out. Oh! It's an absolute travesty for 2 people there. We're up into P12 now. Kubica's P11. Kubica now is only 1 place off points-paying positions, and he's ahead of me. This is actually not that great for me, because this could potentially be the first and only time I get outscored by my teammate. Do you understand that? That is pure embarrassment if that happens. I've always outscored Kubica. Even when we've not got points, we've just outraced him. But if Kubica was to actually do this, I think my career would be over. I told Perez to retire. I think I might need to retire. And as we move on later onto the GP, lap 12 this is, through the S section. A lot of understeer, you can see, having to go very much over the curbing there. But look at the top left. Giovinazzi's just been overtaken, and Kubica has overtaken the Alfa Romeo car. As we go through into the stadium section, there he is. He's ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Kubica is in the points, and I am not. And we've only got a finite amount of laps left. in this GP. Things are not looking good for us. We're catching up to Giovinazzi at a rate of knots. I suspect he's got an issue because look how quickly we catch him. So that's got to be the only logical explanation for our teammate overtaking him as we go down the inside there, and we're going to be up into P11 of 12. And so there we go, Kubica P10 on the top left. You're not seeing things. He's got points right now. I do not. And so we've got to fight for our lives. This is fighting for pure pride here. We're on the last lap of the Grand Prix now. It's taken us that long to actually catch up to him. We've not had great pace in this Mexican GP. Hamilton has already crossed the line to win the GP by about 2/3 of this lap. And we're gaining and gaining on Kubica, but it's literally the last few corners of this GP. The fanfares are out here for the end of the Grand Prix, but we just can't do it. Lock up on the front left. There's nowhere to go. I can't dive bomb him and push him out of the way. We're teammates. I need to at least respect him a little bit, but there's nothing we can do through the last corner. Horrendous traction on the exit there, and Kubica's done it. He's beaten us at the Mexican GP. He's got points.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Park Fur, mate.
Or not. Or not. P10? What's gone on there? Kubica's with P10. We've now moved on to P10. I don't know what's gone on. The fanfares are out. Have the Mexican fans realised that we just got points? Oh, wait, it's for Hamilton. It's for Hamilton winning the chat. Okay, my bad. But no, seriously, we're up into P10. Kubica's got a penalty. Oh, dearie me. Oh, this is where I get my smug face out. Oh, Robert Kubica, what a shame, lad. What a shame. What a shame. Right, he's got a penalty. He's up to P12. And so that is why we've been elevated to P10. And we get 1 point. And we continue our streak of beating Kubica in every single race in terms of scoring the points here for the team. Absolutely exceptional. Even when he does well, he does badly. I don't know what that penalty was for. I actually know what I do know. It's probably for assassinating Grosjean. So probably quite a justified penalty, to be honest. You got to admit, probably quite justified. So in the Driver Championship, we stay P10. The Constructors, though, more importantly, we remain ahead of Toro Rosso by a few points there. So that is good. 2 races left. That's still such a tiny gap, though. You know, Toro Rosso just need one great race, but they get like P7 and we come P10. And they're back ahead of us. So this is fine margins here. But at least for now, we are doing the job. Mexico, tick the box. 2 more races to go. Let's continue this fine form.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
I wouldn't say I cut my way through the field, yeah, and I did very much struggle to get through that. I was going backwards the entire GP, Claire, so of course there was no struggle. It was quite easy, you know, actually.
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
I looked really in control of my car. Again, Claire, are you blind, woman? What kind of race were you watching out there? I had no control of the rear end. It wanted to go to Kazakhstan whilst we're here in Mexico.
Would you say that your rival is still on your level?
I wouldn't say he's on my level per se. I mean, don't read too much into the smirk I've got right now on my face. But you know, I respect him as a teammate. He did me a solid last episode, or at least I thought he did at the time. So I've got to say I have a lot of respect for him. I mean, he took the penalty for me to get the points, and that's I admire that.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So overall, bit of a weird one. I didn't think that was too successful as a GP, but we still got 1 point. We still beat our teammate, and we still ahead of Toro Rosso, so I actually can't complain too much. It's a sentence I've said a few times now in the last few episodes, but they've not really felt that great, but we've still been doing the job at least, to staying ahead of Toro Rosso. But you got to say, the road to glory seems to be just as far as it was since episode 1. So in that kind of way, are we really moving forward on this road? It kind of feels like it's a bit of a treadmill road, to be honest. But anyway, we're going to purchase some upgrades there, mainly rear downforce to add to the car, because of course the rear end was stepping out quite a fair bit. So I think it will help very much so at Brazil, where, well, Brazil anyway is going to be so tough, let alone in the Williams car, let alone without the rear downforce upgrade. So that's why we went for that purchase. Could have gone for an engine one, but decided that one was going to be the better option. And so yeah, that's where we stand in the end of this episode, with 2 more episodes to go in this season. Guys, if you did enjoy this one, be sure to smash that like button. Let me know your thought in the comments below. If you are new around here, to subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.